has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
Make sure you get the SportsGrid app on iOS or Android. It's free. You're going to love it. It's got everything. You can watch the network on there. It's got the TV side. You can listen to the network. It's got the radio side. Follow your favorite hosts like Carver High. It's got in-game odds. It's got it all. The SportsGrid app, it's smarter to be on SportsGrid. Did you know we're streaming on X every day, always, even right now, this very minute, 7 days a week? You got to check it out at SportsGrid-Live. Get the Ferrall Coast to Coast and Ferrall on the Bench podcast on Apple and iTunes, wherever you get podcasts, Monday through Friday, both shows every day. Let's take a look at the lineup tonight on SportsGrid TV and SportsGrid Radio. We'll start with the TV side. After the show, it's Front Office Sports Today at 6 Eastern. 6:30, it's GTD, Game Time Decisions with the Mayor of Miami, Joe Ranieri. 8 o'clock, it's the original OG, In-Game Live with Scott Wetzel and Dave Sharapan. And then at 10 Eastern, it's Sports Rage with Gabe Morency and friends, including the Prime Minister Cam Stewart live in Toronto. All of that tonight on SportsGrid TV. On SportsGrid Radio, it's Carver and Lisi at 8 to 10 o'clock Eastern. SportsGrid TV, SportsGrid Radio. Who needs anything else? All right, we get back to this Knicks loss last night at the world's most famous.
Yeah, we'll finish it off by hearing from Kat as they get ready for a Game 6. And even though the Knicks are up 3-2 in this series, there's really been a pattern in every game. The Knicks play awful in the third quarter, and they're usually down going into the fourth and have to come from behind. It would be nice if they changed that in Detroit tomorrow night for Game 6. Here's Kat.
Prior to the fourth, I think you guys have trailed going into, if not all the third quarters, most of them. Is there equal concern as there is for the praise and closing it out?
I mean, you have a good point. You know, we haven't put ourselves in a position to get a commanding win. You know,
He looks like he's going to a
we've been
barbecue
very
in the
gritty
park,
this whole
for sure.
series and physical, and it's allowed us to find a way a lot of times to win. I think what was the differential in Detroit, like 3 points. So, you know, you only could do it so many times before, you know, it comes back to bite you. I think that tonight we put ourselves in that position and we just didn't find a way to get that magical ending.
Yeah, because he and Brunson couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. And that's it. When those two are not scoring, they're dead meat. Because the rest of the team, I think, follows suit. I don't think anybody played well last night, to be honest with you. Once those two were off, I thought the Knicks were off. And they kept coming back and making a game of it, right? And they still lost. So, whatever. I think the Pistons are a problem for them. Every night, they're a problem. They were a problem in Game 1. And then, you know, they won Game 2. They lost Game 3 and 4 in Detroit. They haven't won a game in Detroit in years. They've lost 8 straight or something playoff games at home. They have a problem winning on their home floor. Do you believe they're going to lose again in Game 6 at home, Mike, or are they going to finally win a home game? I think they're going to win. I think Saturday we're going to have a Game 7 in the Garden.
Every game has been so close. It's been so razor thin in every game. I think the Knicks are going to find a way to. I think the Knicks are going to win. I think the Knicks are going to win in Detroit tomorrow
I read
night.
you like a book.
I know. I still feel like they're going to win the series, and they've played well both games in Detroit. You know, they were close wins. They didn't blow them out by any means in either game. I just feel like you got such bad games out of Cat and Brunson last night that at least one of them is going to go off in Game 6 and is going to try to carry them home. And I think that's precisely what they'll do. But I'll tell you this now, and let me give you an early look at the number, which is it's 2. You know, the Pistons are 2-point favorites tomorrow night. The Pistons are favored in the game right now, -2 for Detroit. Maybe they are the side tomorrow. Maybe it is Pistons tomorrow and Knicks on Saturday. It could be that way.
I'll tell you what, like I think I'd lay it tomorrow, and then I will take it on Saturday again with Detroit. I think Detroit will cover the spread no matter what in a Game 7. In fact, I think in Game 7 it'll be just like Game 5. I think the Knicks will be playing from behind in the second half and in trouble and they'll get the Garden rocking and get back into the game. And I think the game will come down to a last-second possession and shot. They've already proven that they've been a problem for the Knicks in every game. Here's the reality of it. I got to be honest with you. I think the Knicks will get it done, and then they're going to get their ass peeled by the Celtics in the semis. Because I've already seen enough. Don't kid yourself. I have watched them get their ass beat by the Celtics every single time they play them. I mean, every time they play them, it's ugly. It's not even a game. The game's over by halftime. I mean, literally, the Celtics, the Knicks are their bitch, is what they are. They can't beat them at all. So enjoy it while you got it, Knick fans, because I'm a Knick fan too, and I know what's coming. It's a giant enema. It's coming, and it's coming in the form of Boston, and there's nothing worse for me. So what's going to happen is they're going to win that thing Saturday, and then for the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be living in a hell trap. Hell trap. Fire.
Well, look, as you just mentioned, they have a hard enough time winning. They have a hard enough time winning one game against the Celtics. Imagine them having to have to win 4 games against them. And it's like, they have to beat them 4 times.
It'll be a gentleman's sweep again. They'll beat their ass down. They own them.
It's probably that. That's what it would probably be.
I actually think they prefer the Knicks over the Pistons. Because I think the Pistons could bully ball them and play with them, just like the Pacers tried. I think the Pacers gave them a better battle than the Knicks did, and I think the Pistons had given them a better battle too. They own the Knicks, the Celtics. They own them.
Right, especially since I think if the Pistons ever won this series, I think that's even, we always talk about house money and no pressure. Like, that's Pistons getting to the second round after not winning a series for 20 years. Like, that is and a young group, first time doing it. They've got guys that are tough. The Celtics wouldn't like that, getting smacked or, beaten up and pushed around by all these tough physical guys on a business. The Knicks will be a walk in the park for them. Yeah. In the second round. You're right. They'd have a harder time messing around with the Pistons for a couple of weeks. Nuggets beat the Clippers 131-115.
Jesus.
Big win for them last night. 43 for Jamal Murray. He went off on TNT.
2 game winners in the first round series last year against the Lakers.
How about this? Tough shot. Jamal Murray gets to the paint. Fadeaway jumper. And now Murray for 3. Why not? Okay. Jamal Murray. He's a killer.
So, last night we hit 3 of the 4 spreads in the NBA. We hit this game as well. Hit the Pistons. Hit the Celtics. Lay in 11. We'll get to that. But I did not see. I just said, Denver's going to win the game. They're going to win at the ball. They're going to cover. I didn't see it being a blowout like this. I really didn't. And I guess I didn't see the Clippers game 2, blowout, whatever it was, at the end to it, where they raked them. I just thought that they looked terrible last night, and I thought Denver, when you got Murray shooting like that and Joker having a triple-double, good night, Irene. Good night, Irene.
Good night. And Westbrook had a huge game. We'll hear from him in a little bit. And look, I think the Clippers are going to win Game 6 at home, but that's going to be a tough ask for them, a 7th game in Denver. It'll be a real tough ask.
They're going to lose like they always do. And I wanted them to win. Yeah. I'm on them. I like them. I'm rooting for them. I hope they win. And I already know they're going to lose.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
knows how to show love to our everyday heroes. So if you're a first responder, you are in for some perks. Lots of hotels and casino offer big discounts to any first responders who can show valid work or volunteer ID. So treat yourself to a discounted stay. You deserve it. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable at 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
If you're going to trade Durant, right, it means things are getting weird anyway. Teams are going to, before they go for Durant, they're going to go for Devin Booker. That's just the reality of it.
You get rid of Durant, or do you do the crazy one? Because you're so far out of the West, do you get rid of Booker? Because D-Book will bring you far more in a return.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. It's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
And we are back, Ferrall, coast to coast, here on a Wednesday. You know what it is, a Golf Wednesday on C2C. And, of course, the Prime Minister, Cam Stewart, is with us every week as we give you all of our picks, preview, etc. for this week's PGA Tour event, which is this week the CJ Cup, the Byron Nelson, down at TPC Craig Ranch in Texas. We get one more stop down in the Lone Star State before we get back into another really good swing. The Truist, which was formerly the Wells Fargo, which is in Philadelphia this year because the PGA Championship, as we know, is at Quail House. So we have a lot of big events coming up, Cam. Good to see you as always. And also off a big week for us because Novocaine, Andrew Novak, and Ben Griffin getting to the winner's circle. And that's great. You know, if you can get a win, it was like last year with Rory and the Irish Bear. You get a win on a week where you're maybe don't have as many plays. You're not as invested because it's the team event, the Zurich. Great win there for us with Novak and Griffin.
Great call, Carver. Maybe we should invest more in the Zurich because you're back-to-back years with Team Ireland and the Griff Dog and Novocaine. Yeah, that was the friendliest trip to the dentist I ever took. Thank you, Andrew Novak. I love that guy. Man, they almost gagged it away. I was flipping out when they gave up the lead, but we got this week.
We do have this week. And, of course, it's one of those fields where Scheffler's playing this week at the Byron Nelson. So that means even though he hasn't won yet this year, you're still getting under 3-1. Plus 280 I'm seeing right at this second. Spieth is here this week. Sungjae Im, Ben An, who's been a very popular pick I've seen out there this week. Siwoo Kim, Sam Burns, of course, always in Texas. And our defending champion, Taylor Pendrith, who won last year after Ben Coles completely gagged on himself at the end of that tournament. 30-1 for Pendrith this week. Tough with Scotty there, Cam, but, it's tough because he hasn't won this year. So you're like, all right, maybe he just won't win again. But then there's that fear where maybe with this kind of field, he is going to finally get himself a win and run away and hide.
The good call, Carver, is he's under 3-1, so that you could still live betting territory. Like if he's lingering in fourth or fifth, you might get the exact same price, and that's kind of where what I'm hoping for right now. But I love our card this week. I think we're gonna have another good one.
Well, let's do it, Cam, because obviously we're not playing Scheffler pre-tournament as you just said. You could get you might get 250 on Saturday afternoon, depending on how things are going. You're not gonna probably get much better than that. Here's where I'm going this week for the outrights. I'm going to start with Siwoo at 30-1. Siwoo played pretty good a few weeks ago at the RBC. Kind of had a rough Sunday, obviously. He needs to get, he needs to get himself a win to get back, moved up the board here a little bit. He missed the Masters this year. He's got, Siwoo Kim needs to get back in the mix. So I'm going to take him at 30-1. Jake Afternoon Nap's been playing pretty well, and he played well here last year too. Siwoo's got good history here as well. 55-1 for Jake Afternoon Nap. This is a price thing for me. I know Tom Kim's been awful, Cam, but Tom Kim in this field at 60-1, I'll take a shot that he showed. Maybe he hasn't played in a few weeks. Maybe he gets his game right, did some things. Who knows? This has been a popular one, too, but we love this guy so much. I got to go. Alejandro Tosti at 90-1. He's been playing good, Cam. Actually, the last couple times out, he's been in the mix in a few places.
That price is nuts. That price is nuts.
90-1
should be like 60.
Tosti.
Like, he's amazing. And look who's going back to the foxhole with the call to church.
Ryan,
Carver in the
crazy
family.
like
Let's go.
a fox. At 120-1. I'll take him this week, Cam. Let's go.
I love your bottom two picks. I think they offer incredible value. Like Ryan Fox wins tournaments. He's not a gagger. I'm going with not a gagger, but Jagger. How many times am I showing up for work drunk and betting this guy? A lot. 38-1. The Griff Dog. Can we go back to back? Sure we can. Jacob Bridgman could be one of my favorite picks ever, Carver. I think he's a perfect fit for this course at 50. I'm also going to take an afternoon nap in the other room while you're dealing with your children. Hisatsune. Let's rock with Hisatsune at 60-1. And you know my guy, Thor Bjornsson finished 4th last week with Phillips. I got a top 5 for that team event pick, and I really like the way he's playing. 100-1.
Here's the placements for me, Cam. I think I'll put this at least for Scotty. I'm going to bet him in a couple of different ways here. Top 5 at -125. He's at least going to be there, I think, on Sunday. You know that. Spieth at top 10 at +220. I'll dip my toe with Ben on. Everyone loves him. I'm only going to go T10 at +280. There's Hisatsune. I'm with you, Cam. T20 at +260. Davis Riley at T20 at +320. And Ben Coles honestly should have won here last year. I know we haven't seen Ben Coles on too many leaderboards this year, but a top 20 at +650 for a guy who played well here a year ago, I will take a stab with that, Cam.
Go charcoal. Fire up the barbecue. The weather's getting better, Carver. What am I going to do with my top 10s? I'm taking Sunjay Im at +210. I think this is a perfect track for him. I'm with you on Ben on. You got a way better number than me, but +240 I'm down with. Ryan Gerard is sneaky good. We bet him all the time for top 20s. I've been taking a look at my stuff. He comes in. Wallace, +320. Gary Woodland for a 40. You're getting top 40 +120. And Carl, Phillips Screwdriver at +125. Hand me the Phillips. Let's go.
And I meant to say this to you because literally 5 minutes ago, Gary Woodland withdrew. 5 minutes ago.
Did?
I just saw Gary Woodland. Gary Woodland and Willie Z. So Zalatoris and Woodland both withdrew. Just Woodland was 5 minutes ago. Willie Z was a couple hours ago. So we've had some guys pulling out here on a Wednesday. I kind of liked Woodland as well, Cam, and then he left us. All right, first round leader bombs. Hey, if Scotty Scheffler's so good and he's under 3-1, Cam, he should maybe blow the field away in the first round. I never take chalk with first round leaders. But if the guy's going to come out hot, 12 instead of 3, that sounds good to me. And I just need him to win on Thursday. 12-1 for Scheffler. Siwoo 45. Nap at 60. Harry Hall loves Thursdays at 65-1. How about slamming Sammy Valimaki at 80-1 and Cam Davis at 80-1 as well? Give it to me, Cam.
I love it. Swinging Sammy. I like afternoon nap. I'm having 2 naps, outright and another one. Let's go 60. Eric Cole. I have an addiction. Cole Kane's back. You can't. I went to rehab. It didn't work. Toasty. 90-1. Let's go. Matt Wallace finished 3rd in this event. Phillips Screwdriver. 100. Hey, look who I got. Sammy Valimaki. Slamming Sammy. And Sam Riders on the Storm. 110-1. Let's do it, Carver.
Oh, the Phillips Screwdriver is now in the shed. I can't. Well, look at that one that we have. Cam, the Byron Nelson, the CJ Cup, TPC Craig Ranch. Let's go back to the window on a Golf Wednesday with the Prime Minister. We're back after this.
is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyzed the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Dart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid.
Cosmo was supposed to fight Ciaran Clark, but he had to pull off injury. You get the call. You get to go in there. What was it like for you when you got that call, jumping in there and be part of this bantamweight tournament on short notice?
Terrifying, man. 2 weeks notice against a stud, but I've been preparing my whole life for it, and I couldn't say no to the opportunity, and saw what happened. I came in there and kind of shocked the world. Not kind of, I did.
Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
So in the 63rd minute, Milan has scored again. I think it's the same guy as the wheel kick. It's 3-2 Inter now at Barcelona in leg 1 of the Champions League semi. So what a great game. And did you get some, what's that?
Your boy Denzel Dumfries. Dumfries got both goals.
He looks amazing.
This is why you love the Champions League, is for games like this. These crazy games that are back and forth. This is all soccer should be this. This is what every game should be. Well, forget the 0-0 in the 75th, 80th
they just scored
minute.
Barcelona. They just scored on a blast from the top of the box. From like 30 yards out. This guy just nailed one under the crossbar. Oh, my God, the humanity of it all.
Unbelievable. What a game they're having out there. Champions League semis with Barca and Inter Milan. I wanted to make sure that I gave you this, too, from the Clipper Nugget game. Because we love Brody here. We love Russell Westbrook. He's one of the all-time greats. Now, Murray had the 43 last night, but Westbrook really showed up off the bench for Denver. He finished with 21 points. He was 8 of 15 from the floor. He hit 3 threes. And I really just wanted to play him because you've seen Crocodile Dundee, right? You remember that movie back in the 80s, the Crocodile Dundee movie?
Of course.
Well, it looks like that Russell Westbrook, is in line to maybe do the reboot. Maybe we can get Westbrook in there as Crocodile Dundee.
Idea.
Check out the lid on Russ at the postgame last night.
Like I said, I have so much gratitude and so much respect for the game and so much respect for, being able to go out and compete. I always tell myself before every night to have fun. And my fun may look a little different than everybody else's. It may not be with a smile. It may not be running around, slapping hands, but when I'm intense and I'm competing at the highest level, I'm having the best time. And that to me is the best part of the game. And even year 17, I still have so much fun going out and competing. And I'm a competitor and one of the best competitors in the world, and I live for moments and live to talking a little mess and competing along with it.
He's going to the Hall. So that's where he's going.
That's amazing to hear him. 17 years he's been in the NBA now. 17 years. Yeah. That's wild. It doesn't seem like that long. It doesn't seem like that long.
2 seasons, he averaged a triple-double over 2 seasons. A triple-double every night. That's how good
amazing.
he is.
Now, Denver goes to L.A. up 3-2. They, of course, are favorites to win the series now, minus 184. If you think the Clippers can win both games, it'll be plus 154. Honestly, like, you probably get a better odds on the Clippers. Just roll it over. When you play them in money line both games, it's probably the better way to do it at this point. I don't think they'll win a Game 7 in Denver. I don't either. Game 7 there.
I don't either. What'll happen is identical to what happened last night. Murray will shoot and have 35+, and Joker will have a triple-double. Porter will have at least 16 to 20 points. So will Gordon. And Christian Brown will have at least 10 to 15 points. And that'll be that. Because let's just remember, and I love the Clips and the Claw. I really do. But they never get it done ever. I mean, they never have sniffed it. They are literally, they're hexed. They can't win an NBA championship. It's impossible.
It is impossible. Very unlucky. And the other game last night, there really isn't much to say. The Celtics in the second half destroyed the Magic. 120-89. They win the series in 5. And they have moved on.
You're just going to blow that game off. I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I'm blowing it right
There's
off.
nothing to say. Tatum had 35, and that's that. It's the same
I'm blowing the game
they
off.
Were down big in the first half. In the second half, they blasted their ass like they always do. And, I guess Mo Wagner had a good game. He hadn't played in one game the whole series. Then he shows up. Too little, too late. They're done. They're finished again. All I hear about is how great Banchero is and Franz Wagner and this young Magic team. And, if you ask me, they're missing pieces. Obviously, you don't have Suggs out there playing, and I just don't think they're that good overall. I think their defense is, but they're missing something, a player or two at least.
Is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Dart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid.
Cosmo was supposed to fight Ciaran Clark, but he had to pull off injury. You get the call. You get to go in there. What was it like for you when you got that call, jumping in there and be part of this bantamweight tournament on short notice?
Terrifying, man. 2 weeks notice against a stud, but I've been preparing my whole life for it, and I couldn't say no to the opportunity, and saw what happened. I came in there and kind of shocked the world. Not kind of, I did.
Only on SportsGrid.
Malaysia Fawali, who you guys know I am a huge fan, has decided to switch allegiances and stay in league. And now she's going to go play for Kim Mulkey. Her, Flau'jae Johnson in the backcourt. It's going to be interesting to watch. You wonder sometimes with roster construction, maybe too much is not too good.
Betting above the rim. Only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall, coast to coast. Only on SportsGrid.
Turning the corner and heading for home on a Wednesday. Good to have you with us. I'm Ferrall, along with Carver High in New York City. Smarter to be on SportsGrid as we look at the NBA bracket now with some of the changes that have evolved over the last day or two.
Well, the real change here that we obviously need to look at is the East now has 3 of their 4 teams already have moved on into the second round. So there you go. Boston is waiting for the winner of the Knicks and the Pistons, and Cleveland and Indiana are now locked. That will be the second round matchup, and they will play game number 1 on Sunday in Cleveland. So we know already they're going to start on Sunday no matter what happens with all these other series. And I already saw, I thought the line was a little big, honestly. I thought Cleveland -8 for game 1 against Indiana. That's a big number, man. 8 points for game 1 with those two at the Q.
Yeah, listen, I've already said I'm on record as saying that the Pacers are going to upset the Cavs in this semi. So there's no reason not to grab the 8 and go for it, right? I think the Pacers are a deep, talented team, 10 deep, two different sets of 5s that can go. And I'm not talking about centers. I'm talking about 5 guys that can play, and then the other 5 can go in and kick ass and take names too. I don't deny that Cleveland is good and that they're deep and they've had an incredible season. I think they're a really fast-moving transition team that moves the ball and cuts and dunks and does everything. I think they have great shooters as well. I think Mitchell can score 30-plus a game. I think Strus can shoot. They got all kinds of guys that can shoot on that team. Merrill, I mean, it just doesn't stop. So they're a problem for sure. The Pacers are going to have to go all in to beat them. It's going to be no joke. I think it's going to be a terrific series. I think it'll be way better than the other one. I think the other one will be a blowout. Celtics easy.
For the series, Indiana to win is +410 right now. For the series, Indiana to beat Cleveland in the series +410.
No chance.
No shot.
4 to 1.
Shot,
I'm all in.
Giving them 4 to 1. Let's get into one other thing, non-playoff, and then I'll get to the 2 games tonight. Stephon Castle of the Spurs won the NBA Rookie of the Year last night. Spurs win in back-to-back years. God bless and good luck to San Antonio. Congratulations.
He's a really good player. Very exciting for everyone.
Very exciting indeed. All right, let's get to tonight. We have 2 Game 5s in the Western Conference with the same situation. We have a team up 3-1 looking to shut the door. You sent me this note earlier, and I saw it too. 13 teams in NBA history have come back from down 3-1. Can either of these teams become the 14th? We'll start with the Rockets at home against the Warriors, a Game 5 in Houston. As of right now, at this moment, we've got the Rockets -3.5, 203.5 the total.
I mean, it's just absolutely brutal. But you would think that facing elimination, that they're going to be a problem tonight. I like the Rockets laying the 3.5 against this team. I think they're dead meat in Game 6 at the Chase in San Francisco. It'll be all over. That'll be the end of it. Tonight's not the end of it for me. I think the Rockets send it back to the Bay, and then they get whacked. That'll be that. It'll be just like the game the other day, Saturday, when they beat them by like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And my son was at the game. They're gonna beat them. You know, and I'll tell you one of the reasons they'll beat them is because Green stops everyone on that team from scoring.
Well, whether it's tonight or it's in Game 6 at the Chase, they are going to beat them. I don't see the Rockets winning the next 3 games from Golden State. That's for sure. Similar spot for the Lakers at home tonight. They are down 3-1, trying to force a 6th game in Minnesota. Let's start with Luka Doncic, of course. Can't look at it in the big picture, 1 game at a time. Just got to win tonight.
We definitely should treat it like Game 7. You lose, you go home, no matter what. But you can't be looking in the future. So got to focus on this game, and then from there and go on.
Luka, how are you feeling physically, and what's your mood going into the Game 5?
I'm good. My mood. What do you mean my mood? What's my mood?
Mood.
Oh, mood?
Yeah.
Confident. Confidence
What's his mood?
is a big part of it.
Honestly.
Like I said, we got to treat it as Game 7, and we got to stay together.
the problem is the team they're playing is better than them. That's the problem. They're just not afraid of Luka, and I think Luka is incredible. I think he could have 37 tonight and still lose. Honestly, because you know what they need to do? Let him do whatever he wants. Shut down LeBron James, and they're done. That's the snake head. Cut the snake head off. I'm telling you, if Luka has 37 and LeBron has 25 or more, the Lakers are going to win. But if Luka has 37 and LeBron has 18, the Timberwolves are going to win. I think of Luka with the Mavs. The Lakers, obviously, it's a two-man show. I think Reeves has to have a huge game for them tonight to win, but I still think it's LeBron and Luka. I don't think, for my money, Reeves has done nothing in this series, just like I said he would. I said he wouldn't do anything against this team. He's going to be real white by the time they're done playing the T-Wolves, and I was right about that. That's already been established. So I literally don't even believe that if he had a 32-point game tonight, Reeves, that it makes up for everything that he hasn't done in this series to begin with. He'd have to do that in games tonight, in Minneapolis, and then back in LA again. He'd have to have 3 straight games of 30-plus for me to say he did anything. He hasn't done anything in this series. Nothing.
No, he's done nothing, and I do agree with you. This is the Luka and LeBron show tonight. I just don't see how either of them even let anyone else be involved. I think you're going to see them both go to work here. Lakers minus 5.5 tonight. 210.5 is the total.
Lakers minus 5.5. Like, look, I'm willing to take the 5.5 with the T-Wolves. I really am. They are not afraid of the Lakers. So I think they're going to show up. It is the same thing for my money as the Pistons last night taking the 5.5. They're not afraid of the Knicks. The T-Wolves are not afraid of the Lakers. They're not afraid of Luka Doncic. And Luka Doncic can't stop a runny nose. He can't stop Anthony Edwards. He can't stop McDaniels. He can't stop Randall. He's too big. Randall is, I don't deny Luka's 6'7" and fat, but he can't stop that muscle freak Randall. He'll bang him to death. The only person that can handle him is LeBron because he's 6'8", 260, right? My man Randall is a mother Ferraller. He starts backing people down with he's so ripped, he just starts banging people down. And everyone else on that team too. Nas, don't get me started. They got all kinds of guys that can put it in the hole. It's never ending. So I think the Lakers have big problems. I mean, they're down 3-1 for Christ's sakes. This isn't some kind of revelation all of a sudden.
No, I think this number is a little too big. I do think the Lakers are going to win tonight, but 5.5 is a lot of gas. It's just a little bit too much for me for what I think is going to be a close game. So I'll go with the 5.5 for Minnie with you, but I think the Lakers will win, and they'll force a Game 6 and lose the Game 6 in Minnesota, and they will not win this series. But they will at least get one more win. That might very well be the case.
That might happen. I certainly don't think that it couldn't happen. I think the Lakers can win tonight. Yeah. I do. But I think so can Minnesota. They've won every other game.
Oh, no doubt.
So let's see if they can do it again and be done with it. So, all these other really good teams, let's just get real here. Look at the East. All the really good teams got it done. I don't think the Knicks are that good. I think they're on the same plane as the Pistons. It's these other teams, the higher seeded teams are so good. I think Minnesota, ultra low seed, but they're better than the Lakers.
anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
That was the magic of Tiger to me. Why did my mom care about when Tiger was playing? Because you might see something with every shot that you've never seen before. And that was, to me, the magnetic quality. And those guys have a little bit of that, but there aren't a ton of them. So to have those guys in the mix on the big weeks is great for the game.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Time to talk Stanley Cup playoffs because, as Carver High knows, everybody loves hockey.
Everybody does love hockey. We
Yes,
had
sir.
4 games last night. We have got 3 more games tonight in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Let's start with the Leafs, who, of course, had a 3-0 series lead on Ottawa after a couple of overtime wins. They lose
Fail.
that overtime game 4 in Ottawa. Then last night, they don't even score. Blanked at
Fail.
home.
Fail.
4-0 by the Sens. How about Dylan Cousins getting involved with a little shorty action on Sportsnet?
Matthews, pass, picked off, intended for Marner. Here is Gaudette, driving the lead is Cousins, scores! Short-handed! Ottawa's got its second short-handed goal in the series.
Wow. And then when they scored that one, it was over. It was like lights out. And then, watching the Leafs struggle on home ice to score a goal for 60 minutes, to me, was surreal. I was watching going, what is happening here? They can't even get near it. It was stunning.
It was stunning. And look, for some teams and in some markets, I think that it would be all right. Listen, we're still got 2 games to win here, or we've done this before. We can do that. You know how nuts they are up there.
Yeah.
And I already saw today. I saw Berube and Matthews and all these guys getting interviewed, and it's they are just hounding them. Oh, you were up 3-0. You were up 3-0. You were up 3-0. Like it should already be over. Sometimes this happens. That Ottawa's giving a little pushback. I would be very, I think they'd want to take care of business now on the road in Game 6 because that'll be a nervous Toronto crowd. If they got a 7th game there, a real nervous Toronto crowd.
Well,
if they got to go back there.
Didn't they beat them? They beat them 4 times in a regular season. Now they've been down 3-0, and everyone said, all right, the regular season didn't matter. Now all of a sudden they've won the last 2. If they win this next game, we've all sat here today and heard everyone, literally everyone. Gabe said it. You said it. When we had the Prime Minister, Cam, in a break, he said it. They'll lose Game 7. And but you guys all think they're going to win Game 6. So how are they going to play in a Game 7 if they win Game 6? It's over. So I think they're in trouble all of a sudden, and it's amazing to me because when I'm looking at the game, I literally see one team with superior talent. One team looks like the Russian Red Army in blue, and the other team looks to me to be the same team that tried to F with the Penguins back when they won their back-to-back cups, but they couldn't get it done. They just look like a tough playoff team that couldn't get it done. They don't look to me to be dangerous, but all of a sudden they're kicking your ass. And I didn't think the overtime win was a good game for Ottawa. They were up 2-0, and then it was 2-2, then 3-2, then 3-3, then they win it 4-3, right? So I never thought they played great in that game. But last night they kicked your ass in your building 4-0 with shorties. I mean, that is embarrassing. And I'm watching one team that's got this just sophisticated offense and this great power play. Meanwhile, they suck donkey onions. Like, it's unbelievable. You can't even make it up. I mean, it's unbelievable. If they lose to this team, honestly, Gabe's right. Marner's out the door. And it doesn't matter who the coach is. I've been through, how many coaches have they peeled off in Toronto after all these losses?
A lot.
All they do is lose. It's stunning. 1967. I was 2 years old the last time they won the Stanley Cup. Meanwhile, Montreal and Toronto are the top two markets in the NHL. Media and otherwise. It's the two biggest hockey hubs in the NHL, bar none. You know, they can't have the NHL without the U.S. They can't. Because the U.S. wins it every year, and it's been that way since 93 and all this other stuff. And those people hate us. They hate our guts now in America, but they can't live without us. But the NHL, these people in Montreal and Toronto, they literally believe that they could just have two teams in the whole league and everything would be fine. Those two teams, Montreal and Toronto. That's how big they are. And that team never wins the Stanley Cup. That's, to me, like the biggest story in hockey, still running 50 years later. I mean, way more than 50 years later. It's crazy.
It really is. They just can never get it done. Never get it done.
Possible?
Minus 360 now to win the series. Minus 375. There you go. Plus 290 for Ottawa if you think they're going to come back from 3-0 down to get it done. We did have one series end last night as the Canes beat the Devils in double overtime. They win the series in 5 games. The Devils had a 3-0 lead in this game, and they yak it up. They had a 4-3 lead. They yak it up. Took till the second overtime, but Sebastian Aho on TNT does the honors.
Down to a minute remaining on the power play. Gostisbehere to the far side. Back across. Too hard for Jarvis. Gostisbehere with it once again. To the far circle. Stop! Wins it and sends the Hurricanes to the second round. Sebastian Aho on the power play. 5-4 Carolina.
It's like Gorilla Glue. Of course they won. Of course the Canes won. You knew they were going to when they went to overtime, you knew they were going to win, right? Like, no one thought the Devils were going to win. I mean, I literally never once ever thought that the Devils were like a playoff team when I watched their games. But I thought their goalie last night, Markstrom, played like he literally played like it was a Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Final. The guy was unbelievable. He made, I mean, they should have lost the game 14-4. This guy made 150,000 saves. He literally, in fact, I think he just made 6 more saves while I was talking about him. He's still playing, even though they lost last night. He's still out there making saves. That guy was brilliant. The Devils were, the day Jack Hughes went down, and then the other Hughes went down, and they were dead meat. They have no chance. Canes still lose in the next round like they always do.
anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're gonna go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's gonna help me get the job done. There is not gonna be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
That was the magic of Tiger to me. Why did my mom care about when Tiger was playing? Because you might see something with every shot that you've never seen before. And that was, to me, the magnetic quality. And those guys have a little bit of that, but there aren't a ton of them. So to have those guys in the mix on the big weeks is great for the game.
The Smiley Show, only on SportsGrid.
Alexa Zepp is with Daily Racing Form, and she's here today to talk about the Derby. You can follow her at Alexa_Zepp. What a great name. All I think about is Led Zeppelin when I think of your name. I think it's fantastic. I'm excited to have you on the show. I want to start with this. Bob Baffert is back. Between the spires, finally at Churchill Downs after being suspended. And what has he got? 3 horses in this thing? Because I'm used to NBC spending 8 hours every year talking about Bob Baffert at the Kentucky Derby and no one else.
Yeah, he's back. He served his sentence, 3 years out of it. And he's back with a vengeance with a couple good ones in here. Not my top picks, actually, though. I've landed on journalism, and I really hate picking the favorite, who is going to be the favorite. But I just think this horse is so good. So buyer speed figures are like our standard of measuring speed in horse racing. And he ran a 108 last year. To put that in perspective, the last 11 Derby winners have not run that figure. The fastest winning Derby figure was a 105. So he's really fast. He's got a good running style. Like all Derbies, this race is going to have a ton of speed in it. So he's got kind of a mid-pack closing running style. And I think it's just going to set up really, really nicely for him. He has been running in small fields, though. He's been running in 5 and 6 horse fields. So you can maybe throw some shade at him that way and look at some other ones in here. But he's beat a lot of the really other strong contenders in here already. So I'm just really impressed with him. I'm going to use him. I'm not going to single him, though. I'll throw some others in there. I like Sandman a lot. Sandman's the number 17. So that's the dreaded post position. It's the only post position that has never won the Derby. This is the 151st running. So you could hear the groans.
But Jose Ortiz is a badass. I think he's a great jock. And I got to ask you about Rispoli. Does he have the stones to pull this off and win with this journalism? I know journalism's won 4 straight races. And can McCarthy and Rispoli do this? We know what Ortiz is capable of.
Yeah, I mean, Umberto's one of the best out there, I think. So I think he definitely has it. But you're right. I mean, Sandman's got good. These are all the best connections, right? Everybody's fighting to be in this race. So from a connection standpoint, I mean, Sandman looks really good. I have been in love with this horse since his performance in January in the Southwest. So the horse went to his knees at the break almost. And you were like, oh my God, is the horse okay? And then not only was he okay, he came and closing like crazy at the end. He ended up losing by a couple of lengths, but showing that kind of grit is a huge deal in a race because the Derby is a race you're never going to get your way. It's never going to set up perfectly exactly how you want it. So I like seeing that from a horse ahead of time that, he can handle it. And then he won the Arkansas Derby last out really convincingly. He is 0-for-3 at Churchill, which is, a bummer, but those were a lot earlier in his career. So I really like seeing him quite a bit. There's also the 7 Luxor Cafe, who's a Japanese contingent.
Horse, right? Is that not the horse that races in the Far East? And he's won a bunch of races as well, like 4 in a row over there.
4 in a row, 2 of them by 5 lengths. He's been favored in all 6 of his races he's ever run. And the Japanese contingent gets stronger and stronger every year. Last year, you probably could say they had the best horse, Forever Young, who found some trouble late in the stretch and lost by a nose. But he's looking really good. All of his running lines, which just give you a little feeling of how the horse acts throughout the race, just say he takes command. So I like seeing that. And then I have to comment on the number 21 Baeza. So not yet in the Derby is the one alternate entry. So if one horse scratches, he'll get in. And I just really want this horse to get in. I think it's a good story. First of all, he's very talented, but also a really good story because his mom is the mom of the 2023 Kentucky Derby winner Mage, and then also the mom of 2024 contender Dornoch, owned by MLB star Jason Worth, and then won the Belmont, so the third leg of the Triple Crown.
That's right.
Yeah.
I interviewed him at the Super Bowl after he won the Belmont. That's fantastic that he's into horse racing now. I think it's great.
Yeah, he's got another Derby runner.
Real quick, 20 seconds. How many of these Derbies have you been to? I've been to it. I think it's the greatest thing to go to.
It's so much fun. This will actually be my 3rd year going. It's just a total blast. I recommend everybody at some point get there in your lifetime. It's so much fun.
I mean, I just had so much fun there. Everything about it, the people's clothes, everybody drinking booze, gambling on the ponies. It's just a fantastic day at Churchill Downs. Alexa, thank you. Great job. Enjoy yourself. Have fun in Louisville.
Is so crazy that you get both ends of that spectrum and the narrative trying to be correct in doing so and to make a statement for engagement. You're wrong, you've been wrong, and deal with the reality of the situation.
All of the people that analyze the draft mocked one in the first round, and even could he go to the Giants at number 3 or trade up back in that round. They got Dart, they didn't get Sanders, and the fall was on at that point.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to get a bunch of upsets. We're going to get a lot of craziness. Didn't happen as well. I mean, over the last calendar year, Sam, I don't ever recall 6 or 8 months of time in sports where the books lost, but here we are.
They estimate FanDuel and DraftKings lost $185 million combined for March Madness. So estimating not just that they didn't have a profitable March Madness, but it was a huge loss for them as well.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Second game of doubleheader. We don't know exactly who's going to be in the lineup, and maybe you get an extended game number 1, which means tired bullpens and closers used up, which aren't available for game number 2, and maybe finding some extra shots here. But I do think the pitching matchup more susceptible, Tom, to runs here.
This is part of what we look at. Like I said, I don't expect both teams to win. So we have a pitcher who may not be sustainable 28.6, but he's playing well right now.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Ferrall coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.